Welcome to Better Agency Marketing in 5 minutes or less. Today's topic is an out-of-date website is an invitation to get hacked. Alan, I know you have a lot of expertise in website security. Could you tell us a little bit more about what agencies could and should be doing to protect themselves against cyber attacks?
Thank you, John, and welcome everyone. Let's face facts, nobody wants to be under cyber attack, and more so, nobody wants to have their website hacked. So let's go over some of the basics that you should be thinking about and how you can prevent a cyber attack from breaching with some very simple but important steps. The first one, and the most important, add MFA. What is MFA? Multi-factor authentication. You're probably using it for things like your bank or your investment portfolio right now. It is one of the best solutions to prevent somebody from getting inadvertent access via a password. And that it's very easy to add, actually. So if you can add MFA, especially with an authenticator on your phone, like Google Authenticate, for example, it makes it very difficult for somebody to get access through your password because they have to authenticate with your phone. They'd have to have both your password and your phone to get access. So number one, add MFA. Number two, add a firewall. What will a firewall do for you? Firewalls are great for preventing spam attacks and brute force attacks, and even for phishing emails to get through. There's a lot of great things a firewall will do for you. It's very easy to implement a firewall. The only gotcha is the fact that it requires a change to your DNSA record. That, however, is pretty easy to do. You should definitely have a firewall these days to protect your website. 3, train your employees. Seems obvious, but one of the number one ways people get hacked is their employees click on a phishing email. They click on a nefarious email. It winds up doing a malware infusion, or somebody gets access to information like a password. Train your employees on what they should do, what they shouldn't do. Make sure their desktops are up to date. Encrypt data at rest. Well, if you do happen to get breached, the best thing you can do for security is make sure your data is encrypted. That way, if somebody looks at your data, it's extremely difficult for them to interpret what that is. Our data is all encrypted at rest. Use complex passwords. It surprises us when people use a password and it's like Mary 1990, for example, or John 123. Make sure they use complex passwords, at least 10 characters or more if possible. You can use the suggested password that's generated by many websites today. Make your passwords complex. And lastly, keep your environment and website code up to date. Often, sites are exploited because of out-of-date environments, whether it's a SQL database or whether the website code is out of date. Make sure you're up to date. If you're using WordPress, which we're going to get into in a minute, make sure your plugins are also up to date. Let's go to the next one, John. So for WordPress sites, and the reason we have a separate slide on that is WordPress has over 50% market share. We use it. It's a really great platform, one of the leading content management systems in the world. 1, update your plugins frequently, every week if possible. Limit login attempts. There's a great plugin or plugins to limit login attempts. That means if John was trying to hack your website and he kept typing in, or if it was a bot, it could keep logging in until it finally found the combination of username and password. If you limit that, that's a great way to prevent hacking. Change your login URL. Don't use the standard one provided. Limit access and user roles. If Mary Jones, for example, just need editing capabilities, don't make her an administrator. Accept all comments manually, and above all, don't use outdated themes. John, that's our best advice on how not to get hacked in 5 minutes or less.
Thank you very much, Alan. If anyone has any additional questions, please contact us at startupselling.com, and we'd be happy to review your website or provide you with an agency marketing and lead gen review.